There are many players who have a natural knack for the game of pocket billiards. And of course, naturally, a lot of the things that I would have to put 100% effort into, a lot of players would naturally do this with an instinct. Now, since the very first time that I picked up a cue stick and I shot a ball into a pocket, I fell in love with the art of practicing, and I've developed and honed my skills by using various practicing techniques. I am my own coach. I taught myself how to play the game. I've gotten to this level simply by using one formula, and that is to practice. Now in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through yet again another rack from my archive of practice sessions, where I demonstrate some tips, some advice, some useful things that you guys can use to add some value to your game. But before we actually get a chance to get into this video, I want to take the time out to introduce you to the new company that is now affiliated with Apex Predator Billiards, and that is the Bizu Carbon Fiber Cue Company. This company recently made contact with me, seeing some potential in my game and also potential in the channel. And of course, I'm now a distributor of Bizu Carbon Fiber cues for upcoming players. The prices are to die for a quality cue for upcoming players who are looking for quality cue to improve their game with a level of consistency and precision, accuracy and control. You want to definitely tap into the family of the Bizu carbon fiber cues. Of course, if you're not a carbon fiber fan, you can actually go ahead and tap into some of their wood shaft cues as well. We have other accessories such as gloves, chalk, cue bags. Definitely we are going on the rise. So Bizu, in association with Apex Predator Billiards, is now presenting these to you. Use for quality cues with quality prices. Definitely Bizu is your go-to company. The link will be placed in the description box below. You can check out the website, and if you find a cue that is of your liking, your taste, you can actually use the promo code APEXCELENIO to get 6% off your purchases. So definitely check out the website. You can see here on screen the variety of quality products that Bizu Carbon Fiber has offering. All right, so check that out for me, guys. Let's dive right back into the rack for today. Now, of course, yet again, this is unfortunately not a break and run, but like I said, the tips and advice that I'm going to be sharing with you are something that you should definitely start doing more consistent in your game to improve the consistency of you running more racks. So we're of course going to start off with the break. Notice that I'm going through my usual pre-shot routine. This is something that I definitely need to tap back into. I'm falling off because I've been out of competitive competition for a while, but let's get into this rack here. We're going to start off with the break, and of course it's a nice solid break. Unfortunately, there you can see that there was a scratch, and so everything was in alignment. Notice my head, my cue, everything is nice and steady, but upon the delivery, notice that as I pulled back the cue, I kind of came a little bit I came forward a bit too fast, and as you can see, as it hits the one ball and the object balls are about to spread, I didn't get any form of pop. Lots of topspin there, and unfortunately there was not another object ball on the table to save me from scratching. But besides the scratch, the run out, the clearance of the table, I find, in my opinion, my humble opinion, was quite exemplary. So I feel like whatever I'm about to do here, I feel like it is important for me to share with you guys this, and let me know in the comments if you start applying these tips, if it has improved your game in the next coming weeks here. All right, so now looking at this rack, guys, I have the one ball down into the bottom half of the table, and I have the two ball into the top half of the table. Couple of pockets available for the two ball. Two ball can go into the side, the two ball can go into the corner, but based on where the two ball is and where the one ball is, you'll notice here that tip number one, I always try to go behind my next object ball, and I find the line to which I want the cue ball to head in. So that's what I'm doing here. pointing my shaft. I'm not looking at the contact spot of the two ball, but I'm looking at the line that I want the cue ball to travel in. So obviously, using the Dr. Dave Billiards tips that he gave, follow for results. But I think he said draw for show, follow for the dough. All right, so I'm gonna follow for the dough because I want to land right onto the toe here. So I'm gonna float the cue ball and just catch top side the side pocket here and bump right into the line. So that's pretty good there. You can see an overlay image that exactly where I had intended is exactly where I landed. Now again, you see that I think I exposed this secret in one of my short speed. Pros do this a lot where they point on an area or they point their shaft in a line, and they check everything. They check, they always want to minimize the movement on the cue ball. So that double check that I did there was just to double check if I could stop the cue ball there, what would be my angle on the three. So I felt like just a little bit of a draw would help me there, and you can see just a 2 inches or 3 inches of draw there land me perfectly in alignment with that three. And remember, 9 ball is all about angles. So you always want to walk around the table and you want to check and see once again that I placed my shaft right into that zone. So in between that 6 and that 7 is the ideal area that I would like to land in. If I can land there, I would naturally leave myself in an angle to somewhat decide how I'm going to land on the 6. So now coming back around now, I need to decide how I'm going to get into that zone. And so I have a slight little angle here on the 3, so a little bit of a stun draw, maybe about 5 or 6 inches of draw should land me here. Here's an overlay image, draw the cue ball nicely, coming a little bit close to that 7. That's pretty good, still land perfectly. If I had stuck on that 7, then that would have been devastating. But I'm in practice, I'm feeling good, feeling confident, I'm in my zone, and I'm following all the things that I've learned over the years. So once again, now I'm going through my thought process here, and I'm looking at how can I land on this 6. Now I'm a big fan of traveling the cushions, going around the cushions with angles. Now you see where I pointed my shaft. Let's take a look at that replay here. I'm looking at the angle, I'm seeing going 1 rail, 2 rails, 3 rails, coming around. But I know that going that route is going to be quite speed sensitive, and if I underrun, I'm going to leave myself with a nasty angle to get back on the 7, and if I overroll the cue ball, it might get a little awkward. So I'm looking at trying to take a simpler route, maybe just rolling the cue ball into the 5 and just kind of floating out, getting a straight in shot on the 6. If I can get that sort of, if I can just land top side the 6, maybe to the right side, I could stop the cue ball for the 7 to the side. But let's see here, rolling the 5 ball and kind of overrode, and you can see that little bit of a scratch, a little bit of a grimace on the face there. You don't really want that. You really want to try to keep the cue ball on a string when it comes to 9-ball, and this is one of the biggest downfalls. But regardless of whatever the situation is, guys, you've got to make do with whatever the table presents to you. It's not always going to be perfect. I have a shot here on the 6 into the side. It's a little bit acute, so I don't want to have to do that because I'm going to run into the 9. So I need to negotiate how the cue ball is going to go into the 9, and so I'm going to pop this 6 ball straight down. Let's have a look. Look at the delivery, head movement and everything. Nice, beautiful, beautiful cut there. Let's have a look at the replay here. Really nice. Cut clean, didn't touch the rail. And notice how the cue ball went into the 9. I already know that I couldn't have avoided it. So the speed control there was perfect to land on the 7 and control. Now, luckily for me there, the 9 didn't roll out too far to block the 7. So I am perfect. Now, this is phase 3 of the 9-ball rack. And I spoke to you about running racks in phases. What you want to do, guys, is that when you reach to this stage, you got to start over mentally. So the 7 becomes the 1 ball, the 8 becomes the 2 ball, and the 9 becomes the 3 ball. And you want to also continue to check angles, because the perspective of the shot is a little different when you're aiming from when you're behind the object ball, from when you're behind the next ball coming. So here I kind of went down, got back up, didn't really like the angle, and I decided to draw the cue ball, and there I kind of definitely messed up that shot. Shaking the head there, not ideal. Really disappointed in that. I kind of wanted to draw the cue ball back top side, maybe like about the 3rd diamond below the side pocket, so I could get a natural angle from the 8, but I I kind of shot the 7 ball too much to the left of the pocket, so it changed my angle. But nevertheless, here you are a player, you're a good pocket of the object ball. So I'm just gonna naturally just kind of float, not doing too much. It's a natural, maybe about 30 degrees. So I'm just gonna float up to the short rail, come back out, not doing too much with the cue ball, and just just settle it down there. So whatever you see me doing here, guys, I didn't get to this level just because I got up and I magically learned how to play pool. I had to go through an entire years of processing to get to this level here, to be able to do whatever I'm doing here. And so naturally, like I said, guys, whenever you're on the last ball, you're gonna pop the last ball as if it was the first ball. You want to keep it like that. Notice where once I'm popping the last ball, if there's any form of angle, I'm always going to go off 2 cushions, because the cushions help to put brakes on the cue ball, and it naturally guides the cue ball away from scratching angles. All right, so I hope that these tips were of value to you. Of course, if it has been, definitely show some love by hitting that subscribe button below, leaving your comments, and of course turning on the notification bell to be notified. And like I said, guys, use the promo code ApexSelenio to get 6% off your sales, of your purchases, pardon me, of the Bizu carbon fiber shafts. Quality prices for quality players that are coming up into the ranks. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Looking forward to seeing more from you, hearing more from you. Join the family, become a part of the process of improving. And like I said, whatever level you're at, you can become whoever and whatever you want to become in this game and near yourself. All right, so until next time, take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.